Wolves and hope that Mirage do the same thing against FaZe in order to prompt a rematch with FaZe and another final chance to fight for a spot in the playoffs.
Social vote is gone 71% to Wolves. Sounds about right. Honestly, maybe a little bit ambitious for the Direwolves. They actually have been playing pretty well this tournament. Maybe 70% is the right metric. Anyway, going into the attacks, going to the bans here, we've already got Thatcher and Nook being the first two to be taken out. Nook is a pretty important one here on Villa. Sneaking up, getting those red stairs or main stairs control with a Nook, even coming up Astro as well, can be quite challenging to face. Villa is one of those maps where stairs are actually a power position. You don't often see that on every single map of Rainbow Six, but it's very, very important on Villa.
Now, having a look at the last time these teams played, Wolves banned Nock and Valkyrie. Dire Wolves, mind you, banned Thatcher and Azami. So it's actually an exact repeat of the operator bans from the last time these two teams versed. Dire Wolves, man, you got to show something more than that match because they only found 2 rounds across 9. And of course, they can't even afford to drop a single one here. As they do start on the defense, in theory, that is the favored side. And we'll see if they can deliver the goods.
Yep, Direwolves starting out on this Aviator and Games room hold. Looking pretty conservative so far in their operator lineup. We've got the Smoke and the Goyo to deny later into the rounds. On top of that, we've got Shields as well. I imagine that one's going to go top main or on the maps or something like that. It just, it seems to be more site-centric on the defense.
Yeah, quite like the heavy anchorage utility, but I do expect a little bit of roaming as well, particularly from Pika. Got to take the fight to Wolves to slow them down and play that late game. If I was Direwolves, I would be a little bit worried about the Dockerby pick, though, from Shinka. Can make it much more difficult to roam. We talked about staircases being power positions. I quite like this shield. Instead of putting it at the top of the main stairs to fight against Study, it's actually on the main stairs itself to fight against a push from down below.
Well, that's only going to work if they actually do a bottom-up take here on the main stairs. Direwolves, interesting setup so far on Aviator Games, but how are Wolves going to approach it? So far, most of their players spawning on the opposite side of the building, over on that north Astro side, already starting to be contested by Souffle sticking his head in the window.
You got to be careful not to lose it. I'm going to be keeping my eye on Reaps this game as well. He's been a real defining factor for this revamped Direwolves. They had quite a slow middle of the year, unable to qualify for Berlin. But now they are back and trying to make a statement. They've already played quite well. Beating FaZe was a big one, but they need to do a lot better than that. Jackie Wu taken low, and he falls back to the top main stairs. Very early exchange, and in fact, Peak is the one to go down first from Rise. A really strong opening pick from Wolves, and Direwolves looking pretty dire.
We might actually see that main stairs shield come into play in just a moment. It seems like the Wolves are pivoting over to a Study-sided take instead of going for the map sweep. And now we've got Jackie Wu on very low HP on the main stairs. He's starting to be bombarded by utility from Bibu, who's just at the bottom of the main stairs. He sent in a grenade. I don't know if that one connected onto the shield there, but I imagine that's still standing.
This is a really good hard breach from Rise, managing to detonate on that main wall into Aviator. What's Reaps going to do here? As Direwolves hold on.
Next up in the push is pretty tricky for the Wolves. They've got to get open the breach to try and flush out the power position behind the bar. But of course, it's not super easy to get one off without it being shot off through the line of sight. And they've got to contest top main as well. Mowgli's actually going to send it straight in for Study control, juggling 2 angles now just behind the map. A player from the Skull, that is Reeves. He'll swing and take him down.
So still 4v4. That said, Rise has made good on this breach. He's moved on forward and he's looking to find another pick. Does a bit of damage onto Reaps. He's got a good position. He can actually crash into side, but here comes a bit of a flank. ED does take one down. It's Reaps to confirm it. Hello, Souffle. P4 and Shinka now left all alone with 40 seconds to go.
It's Shinka. You cannot count him out. It is not over yet. There's 30 seconds. It looks dire, but not for the Wolves. There's still Shinka left in the lobby. He's got flashbangs in hand, and P4 is going for a lurk up the red stairs.
ED still has one gas canister in pocket. Reaps down prone. ED taken low. Reaps may get flashed out. He's ready and watching. Shinka needs to grab that diffuser. Oh, nice shot there from Reaps. Can he secure the last kill? Bit of damage, but Nothing as of yet. Shinka, the clutch god, doesn't have a lot of time to get this one done. He finds one. 2 more kills needed, but it's not going to happen. And Direwolves take the first round.
Really great from the Direwolves. They kept their composure on that top main stairs push. I feel like it was a little bit ill-advised, if anything, actually, for the Wolves to rotate over and do that main push because they had a lot of utility that was holding on to that top brown stairs. Souffle was able to make good of it, using that C4 as the push came through, and eventually Direwolves just clean up the round. It just felt like the gunfight sort of went in their way through that mid-round. Wolves looked a little bit disconnected on that study entry. It's never an easy entry to make, and Direwolves clean up the first round.
So it's a nice start for Direwolves. It wasn't easy, but they did well.
Not easy.
Unfortunately, their chance of making playoffs has come to an end.
Oh no!
I have confirmation that on the A stream, FaZe Clan has won a round. Therefore, the miracle dream of Mirage 7-0ing FaZe, Direwolves 7-0ing Wolves, and us getting treated to a tiebreaker match between Direwolves and FaZe is unfortunately sailed us by. Direwolves cannot make the playoffs, but they can prove that they are the superior Wolves. And that's what they're going to be gunning for this game.
Look, I reckon you peered into the wrong universe, all right? That multiverse probably exists out somewhere, but now we're just seeing the Wolves play against some Wolves, you know?
I will say there is still something for Direwolves to fight for, right? Like in theory, Mirage can overtake them on the standings, which would put Direwolves last in their group. Nobody wants to be last in their group. There is a difference in prize pool and Six Invitational points. I don't believe the Six Invitational points will matter for Direwolves at this point. I believe they are locked out. I will get confirmation of that. But look, there's a bit of prize money and there's pride along with it.
Look, I reckon this is just going to be a game of Rainbow Six Siege. We already saw in the chat, y'all can't see because you don't have the lobby up before we put it on the broadcast, of course. But these guys were having a bit of a yarn. Jackie Wu was like, when this game's over, can we take a photo together? And Bibu was like, yeah, I love photos. Let's do it. So I reckon, honestly, these guys are just having a good time. They're playing some video games together. It's just guys being dudes, you know? They're having a fantastic time. Souffle is the one immediately contesting on this bricks position. The Wolves are going for a pretty minimalist take here. They're just getting onto that master balcony, trying to clear out in the closet. And in fact, Mowgli's actually been able to make that entry pretty early on.
Ooh, bit of a spray down. Rise taken down and finished off by Jackie. So nice little job there. Opening kill for Direwolves.
Nice little drone from P4 though. That's actually cutting off that master, that study side of the map. He knows already that 2 players have crossed over into this position and is looking to make good of this lurk.
Hoping to get an eventual refrag, but it's a bit hard now for Wolves. They've got some good pre-placed drones, but there's not a lot of live droning going on, so they're not hard hunting these 2 roamers, Jackie Wu and Reaps.
Ooh, P4. He's gone a bit sneaky beaky down inside of Pottery, but Jackie Wu seems to know a little bit of a pre-fire through that hatch, but it doesn't connect onto anything. Oh, P4, look at that. He's screen peeking onto the player next to him because he's looking at his camera.
He sees the drone at top red and he gets to see it. He now pre-fires, but it doesn't matter. Maybe you should keep your eyes on your own screen, mate. But Wolves elsewhere do manage to bite back. Mowgli's found another one. That's a double for him. Oh, triple! Finally is taken down, but the damage is done. And Wolves have put down Direwolves with a round of their own. And now Direwolves will know for sure that their dream of playoffs is done.
This is very unfortunate. Wolves, Direwolves, all the chaos in the cast and the comms. Oh, goodness gracious me. Great entry from Mowgli. That was that closet control that we spoke about a little bit earlier. By getting in, he was able to disrupt that push that was happening in tandem with that red stairs. It was P4 who was screen peeking onto his teammate coming up the red stairs. Even though that push didn't quite work out, it was able to disrupt the attention of the defenders. And Mowgli hopped in, found that great timing, and puts a 3K on the board.
It's a good showing for Wolves. We're at the point now where I'm starting to wonder, like, what maps will these teams be taking into playoffs? Is Villa one that we might see from from Wolves come playoff time? They are undefeated on it, alongside, oh, they actually have quite a few maps they're undefeated on, mind you. Mostly pocket picks, though.
Looking pretty good. I think that for this major, a lot of the maps have been shown pretty early, right? When you get to the major, you got to show your hand a little bit, right? You can't play what you played in the stage because there's going to be heaps of VODs on you about it, right? So a lot of these teams have shown their hand, but keep in mind there are 9 maps.
Yeah.
9 is a lot of maps.
And also, I will say, like, I mean, compared to Berlin, remember Elevate just literally played nothing but Oregon?
Yeah.
Until, I think they just basically exclusively played Oregon the entire of the group stage. But, you know, other teams, they're not going to save things for later because they know that you need to get not only as obviously securing as many points as possible to confirm playoffs, but even first seed, it makes a huge difference. And that's really what Wolves are fighting for right here. There's a chance that FaZe can steal it from them. And, I mean, if Wolves secure first seed, it means they're less likely to be playing those big hit teams like Team Liquid and more likely to be going through to the semi-finals.
Right, so Wolves are looking for this direct attack onto the dining and kitchen bomb site, but they are starting to feel a bit worried about the vertical that's come up. Now, that's the Rooney of Reaps, and he's made some impromptu holes inside of Master. Thank you, Easy, for showing us, and that's denying the entry inside of Laundry, and so they've had to rotate a player up. That's Rise here on the Dokeby to try and disrupt this top floor control.
Keen DMR from Reaps, but still not a lot of map control yet from Wolves. They've done a lot of droning and sitting outside the building, determining the best course of action, but they haven't actually actioned yet. Oh, here comes Reaps. Surely there's no Claymore here. He could go for a huge jump out if he has the guts to do it.
Oh, that could be dangerous. A drone is in the way and he spots him out, but he's still playing pretty strong here inside of Master Bedroom. He doesn't want to give up this control. Now, for the Wolves, for the push they want to do, they technically don't need to enter into the top floor. They just need to make sure there's no defender actually watching the vertical, and they could achieve that just from the balcony. So the rest of the Wolves are still shaping up for that ground floor execute. The next thing they need to worry about is a player inside of Pantry. That's where ED is sitting at the moment, and he could definitely come up and disrupt where the diffuser is trying to get in from.
Oh! Reaps does take down P4, aggressive inside of Master, and he's looking for another one. He's got vertical lines here into Laundry, spots out the player, does a bit of damage, not able to secure the kill yet, but elsewhere, Pika's found a double here, and Mam goes for a third, he gets it! 3 headshots, leaves poor Shinka all alone. The clutch Meister, can he get it done? Absolutely not. Direwolves a flawless round.
Big from Pika inside of Memo. Even though the Wolves had so much control on just on the outer rims of that bomb site, they couldn't get in at all. The entry was being denied in totality by the Direwolves. There was one player, that was Reaps. He was sticking his head in the window on the upstairs. Then you had Pika, who was sticking his face in the doorway of a memorial, not allowing them to jump in through that cage window. The Direwolves just playing a really excellent entry denial game because Wolves were being a bit, well, maybe a bit too minimalist about the take they were trying to go for.
Really slow. And the thing is, if you're going slow, you have to be ready to punish those aggressive plays. But it felt like Wolves were a little bit lost in the sauce. Kind of didn't take into account that Direwolves actually do have legs. Able to flank into Master.
Actually got 4 legs if you're a Wolf.
That's true. I mean, technically, this team has 10 legs. And that's only counting the players in the server.
I'm confused.
Because each of the players have 2 legs, and there's 5 of them, and 5 times 2 is 10.
But didn't I just say a wolf has got 4 legs?
Yeah, and then I was talking about the players.
Oh, okay. That makes too much sense.
I mean, the players aren't literally wolves. I don't know how they would hold a mouse if they were actually wolves.
That makes too much sense. We don't do that around here. We don't do that around here, all right, Deb? Okay, we got to Aviator in games. Looking for an extended roam on the other side. Not too much has changed in the philosophy of the Direwolves. It's pretty much the same lineup that they ran last time they attempted this. Now the Wolves, they went for that direct study take last time. Ooh, a bit of a scary spawn peek. Oh gosh, not just 1, but 2 Direwolves. They're getting really aggressive here on the entry denial. They love it.
Yeah, I rate that. Takes a lot of guts to go for something like that. Pika's had a couple of big rounds, already hit 5 kills. Reaps is also still peaking SMG-11 and peaking those long-range fights outside. Very ambitious.
All right, so Wolves, what is the philosophy of this take? Last time they went for a direct take up through study. It didn't work out. Souffle was on the ball. He came back and he helped out his team. This time, they actually look like they're going for the roam clear. P4 about to hop in through bathroom, being live droned by his teammate. I think that's Shinka on the other side with that drone in hand. There is a player on the Astro stairs. I think that's Souffle just on the other side, getting ready to deny that bathroom position.
Oh, doesn't even finish off. Oh my God!
God!
Sit down, P4. You just got destroyed.
What? What on earth?
That was absolutely nuts.
He had a full magazine of the Vector in his hand and he just decided to switch to the fist.
I would love to know what the comms are after P4 dies there. I would just like smash my mouse down and say, this guy's nuts.
This guy's just the best.
I think I'm going to uninstall.
The best. Reeves is here making Red Stairs his own, reigning supreme in this position so far. He's even got a Goyo canister to help stall out some more time and leave him in this position. That cutoff is not being held by the Direwolves, that square window or wolf cutoff as most people like to call it. Rise has rotated over.
You can't call
Mandy.
a room wolf when we have a team called Wolves and a team called Direwolves, Mandy. There is a line and you have crossed it.
I'm so sorry. Look, we've done bad things, okay? This cast has absolutely taken it out of us. Shinka's making his way in through landing. It looks like the Wolves are going to go for a default execute onto that vault door. What they need to do here is just make sure that 90 wall is open and no one is pushing through long so that they can clear out a vault. But in fact, that 90 wall has been mute jammed out, so there still could be a defender that's going to stop the execute from coming on.
I mean, this is a right headache for Wolves, isn't it?
Yep.
Shinka does have those EMPs, hasn't rotated over to it yet. I just love the confidence that Direwolves are playing with right now. They are not holding back. They do not give a damn.
Having a good time. Reeves is pretty lethal in this study position as well. He's going to be able to deny the entry from Shinka as well as the study door, juggling these two angles, but there's only 15 seconds left to go.
Okay, and he drops below. All right, Wolves, what are you going to do when push comes to shove? Here's a face full of buckshot. OED for the double. Mandy, that's back-to-back flawless rounds for Direwolves.
They're doing so well in this Villa map. Like, it's just fantastic how great they are in the early round, don't you think? So the Direwolves, they just get in the face of the Wolves, okay? All the laughs aside considered, okay? Souffle did an amazing job.
Oh, yeah.
He did an incredible job on the roam on the other side. He got in the face of the bathroom window, the Astro window. He fell off, still took the pistol fight onto P4.
That was like fully reflex, by the way.
Absolutely.
I don't know whether, you said he still had a full mag. Like
Yeah, he did.
I think he switched to the pistol because he thought he hadn't reloaded the primary and he was just going to shoot the drone with it. And when he re-peeks and sees the player, he just like, there was no time to think. It was just flick, one tap.
It's pretty incredible from the Dials. Dials are playing a really great early game. I think that's the main thing, right? Wolves, they're taking a bit too long, I think, to problem solve in the early game. And it's allowing the Direwolves players to recompose their players around the map, be exactly where the entry is coming from, and directly contested. We've seen it in the past 3 or 4 rounds, essentially, that have been played out, right? That last round, they directly contested the roam clear. The round before that, even though Wolves tried to go for a direct attack, all the Direwolves players reconvened really quickly back onto the site because the Wolves gave them a lot of time to work with.
We're just having a quick technical pause while we change Rise's headphones here, but I want to point out something you guys can't unfortunately see, but we have the game pause on the operator pick phase, and we can see Pika from Direwolves actually has the Mirage card background on as a, I guess, a nod of respect to their opponents in the same group who they did manage to take down, and then I believe they lost to them earlier today, didn't they? So yeah, I mean, the two teams are 1 for 1. I like that. Bit of mutual respect there from Pika. Just a shout out to their opponents.
You cannot go a single cast without a drip check.
Yeah. Do you want me to continue? Because P4 has a sick Ash card background, and it is ballin'.
Doesn't it?
See what I'm talking about, guys? Look at that Ash.
It doesn't end here with
Check out that Ash.
No, you can't say that. That's not safe for the cast at all. They're taking us over to trophy and statuary. Oh, the Direwolves. I can't believe you. I really can't.
It's all right. It'll all be over after this map, Mandy.
Why are we still here? Why have I been stuck with you here inside of Sweden?
Maybe see if you can cast with Parker instead. I'll take Pengu.
I reckon, honestly. Yeah, give me another duo. This is insane. They're doing an extension over on this study side of the map. They're opening up a line of sight to directly contest the entry if Wolves were to go for the map sweep. Now, even if they want to go for this direct attack, Wolves have to deal with these Cayade claws. That's Souffle. He's just put one down to block off some of that triple wall. Another one is going over on the bathroom side, so I believe, oh, that's a cheeky one. So that second Cayade claw has actually gone inside of the bathroom closet. Oh, there's no way that the Wolves are finding that one. Now, that wall that left side wall is really important to stay closed, because if you get that one open, you cut off the line of sight into split, and that's a big power position for the defenders, right? So this is the one. Thank you very much, Easy. If you get open this wall, you can see directly into split. You're cutting off the rotation, so that is the mission critical wall to stay closed if you're the Direwolves.
Hey, Easy, can we spectate BB for a sec? Oh, he just put it away. Never mind. That's cringe. All right. He has his... Okay, there we go. He gets it out. So you said they're never going to find that electric wall.
No way!
And immediately,
Yes!
Bibu gets out the IQ scanner and pings it.
Oh, you're so right.
I think Bibu's going to look for it now, maybe with his drone as well. He's going to ping it and then look for it with the drone. It is a very unusual spot, isn't it? There's a lot of electronics. He's trying to figure out which is which and then drone it so that his teammates can take it out somehow.
Oh, and then P4's going to try go below with the Ash as well with the charge to clear it. Okay, this is genius from the wall.
This is so cool.
Yeah, this is so great from wall. So P4 is down below. There is a bit of a contest. There's a player inside of the Astro stairs as well, so he's going to have to be a bit cautious to get it. There we go. That's the ping through the floor. That's what P4 has got to deal with if they want to get open that right side of the wall.
Yeah, but guess what? Pika says, look, can you guys just stop talking about all this nerdy stuff? I'm going to go kill someone.
They don't even need to do that. They have a baby EMP.
Ba-ba-bow. Here we go. Exothermic to go out. What are they going to do about it? Pika's actually just going to evacuate. Go downstairs.
I so overthought that attack strat so much. All they needed to do was put a baby EMP on the wall and bam, it's open. Suddenly this line of sight is cutting off that player on the Astro rotate. Shinka can use that line of sight himself to take the gunfight onto Souffle, taking him down very low.
Yeah, but Souffle doesn't seem to care. He's still keen to peek this angle. Kaid might have lost the 1.5, but down below, P4 just sees the player of Pika fall back. Goes for a bit of a wall bang. That almost found the player. But nonetheless, Wolves still at a bit of an impasse, deciding what their next move might be.
All right, this is a tough one for them, right? They could either send it in here with 43 seconds, or they could actually try for Astro control.
Oh my god.
Shinka's able to find another pick onto that player. That is the one rotating through the Astro rotate, and he's even good for 2, taking down Souffle, and that's your site almost entirely cleared, but he's good for 3. He can do it all. Open the walls, play your entries. It's Shinka for everything.
ED trying to flank Master now, but hang on a second. Shinka's gone deep into Trophy, into Astro. Is he good for a 4th kill? He is! Can't get the ace. P4 will steal it away. But Wolves now back in the game with their 2nd round.
Shinka can do everything, can't he? He's the support player. You have the hard reach. He jumps in, puts a very dangerous exothermic charge on the wall, right? Mind you, it's pretty scary to hop in as the first one, hard breach, get a hard breach on the wall. Scary stuff. They did really well there. Not only that, but he entries into the site, finds 2 picks. He could go for the plan if he wanted to. He's like, nah, I reckon I'm good for 4. And he goes in straight for it. Not only that, but he's the clutch player of the Wolves as well. He's just trying to keep this team alive today. Everything rests on this man. He's done so well.
Yeah, he has. Top fragging too, not just for his team, but for the whole server tied up with Pika. Direwolves, though, still have a decent chance of winning the half as we go into the final round of their defense. They're going to go downstairs to Dining. Funnily enough, Stat Trophy was the only bomb site that Wolves managed to win on the attack. They won it both times. So probably the right move for Direwolves to go down to Kitchen Dining here.
Got some pog mats as well from Edie. I love Frost. Yeah. Especially on this bomb site, right, where you have to worry about the pantry hopping, you've got to worry about Cage as well, and you've got to worry about Mudroom. Surely one of these is going to work. I have faith.
Yeah, it could well be. The thing is, Wolves do love a good drone, and they are spending so much time checking everything before they make a move that it's hard to imagine them dying to a trap, but hey, you never know.
Never know. Wolves are looking once again for this direct attack onto the bomb site. The only player that is still babysitting it is ED, I believe, who's inside of the kitchen. He's just taking care of things for now, making sure they don't get pantry control early. Ooh, he's able to actually shoot these salvagers off, just protecting his position behind the kitchen for a little bit longer.
Bibu has managed to get his drone all the way into sight, looking for some util to clear, but at the moment he's just benefiting from the information that can be gathered. Oh, taking down some cameras as well, I guess. There you go. Eventually it's taken down, but that was worth its weight in gold.
All right, so last time that the Wolves attacked this, they were just simply way too slow. They didn't either commit to clearing through the top floor, and they didn't commit to going for the execute. Reaps! Hang on a moment.
Reaps.
He's just dropped through the hatch. He's going to get aggressive on this laundry door and takes down Mowgli.
Yeah, caught with a nade in hand. Mowgli's having a rough game. But Reaps, the playmaker, tying with his teammate Pika now for kills. Looking for more. Doesn't want to be shown up after all the hype we've given to him. And as you mentioned, P4 moving upstairs. Wolves are dedicating to this top floor push on the back of the Gon 6. Reap's not realized that one player's already gone inside. And just like that, Wolves actually have control of the top floor.
Yeah, good combination of the Gon 6 and Hoppin from P4 to be able to get this control. And now he's starting to use this angle inside of the split wall against the walls. He's cutting off that ground floor in half. Reaps, though, is looking for the retake onto that top floor. He's being sneaky beaky, but oh, that's actually a Mozzie drone as well. Pika is droning him into statue. This is exciting.
That is so cool. And on top of that, Peak is also moving into flank as well. Goes for the drone again. Ash might have heard that drone, but he wouldn't have necessarily thought that there's a player because it's the same sound of an attacker's drone. He probably just thinks it's one of his teammates. The flank is being held very well by the man himself, Shinka. Once again, the top fragger in the server, but Pika's looking to change that onto a flank now. But Wolves start to push into the site.
Yeah, 40 seconds as well. This seems like a pretty advisable time for them to start hitting the bomb site. It has actually been fully vacated from the Direwolves. They've given it up and Bebo is full control. Oh no!
That said, Jackie Wu is here in kitchen, ready to cook up a storm. For a second now, was Wolves not quite able to force that plant down as of yet. Rice takes a bit of damage and there's Pika. Back again, tied kill leader in the game. Shinka looking to change that, but Jackie Wu once again is in it. Shinka to clutch now the 1v3. Makes it a 1v2. He's been the clutch god, but Souffle says not right now. And can close out the round, evening the half, well, rather taking the lead in the half. 4-2 for Direwolves on their defense.
Yeah, nice stuff from the Direwolves. I honestly thought the site was completely clear when they went for that entry, and I thought, oh, genius from the Wolves. They're going for it. But really, there were still players that were keeping an eye on that laundry entry, and that was the Malusi that was sitting inside of kitchen. They did a really good job on that retake. They were all on the ball coming back into it. Eventually, the gunfights work out in their way. I want to put merit onto that top floor retake. It was Pika who was being really instrumental, using those Mozzie drones for intel and eventually winning out on all those gunfights on the top floor. Really closed out the round for the Direwolves.
But how will Wolves go on their own defense, I wonder? Now do a little quick check-a-rooney of the last time these two teams played. It was Wolves that won 5 of their 6 defense rounds. And Direwolves, of course, as a result, only managed to win 1 single attack round. They also only won 1 out of their 3 defense rounds. So already I could say Direwolves have improved compared to the last time they played this map. In fact, they found twice as many rounds as already compared to what they did against Wolves last time. But Wolves, you can't take away from the fact that they are a really good defense team on Villa.
Absolutely, and Wolves looking for an extension over onto the north side type roam, as well as a shield on top main to aid the push if Study was to come out later on. The Direwolves, are they going to look for a roam clear or more of a bottom-up type thing? Their spawns would tell us that maybe they're looking for a pottery entry type. Oh, this is really brave from Reaps, actually making his way straight towards the main stairs. He gets in, gets a kill, and gets back out again.
It's a big pick, especially since Bibu was roaming below, but not close enough to refrag as of yet. So it's going to be coming down to a late flank from him in all likelihood. I believe that means top main is now clear as well. No, in fact, they are doubling down. Wolves have sent 2 players, P4 and Shinka. They're reading into this as the push. It means a lot of the map is free, though, for Direwolves if they are to rotate.
Right, this is still a bit spooky business if they want to go for this bottom-up take, though. There is still a player, and that's Bibu, inside of the secret gallery vault, right? And so for the Direwolves, they need to be careful if they want to play this vertical nade game. There is still 1 more in the hands of Jackie Wu and 1 in the hand of Reaps as well. And Bibu could be lethal in this position.
And he hasn't been drone. He hasn't moved all round. He's stayed there the whole time. Reaps, yeah, completely clueless. Bibu flanking, catches him with a nade in hand and evens up. Eventually trading back that opening kill. Jackie Wu now cautious of that position, but guess what? Bibu's just flanked all the way back up onto site.
Okay, not just that as well, but because they're trying to do a bottom-up take, they need to start worrying about the vertical too. And I think some of those Wolves players on the site are starting to get keyed into that. There is that vertical to worry about from inside a bar, but look at this from Pika. He's starting to go for a lurk on the other side of the map, trying to backstab what the defense of the Wolves might be.
Yeah, but Wolves will know about it now. He's made a lot of noise. He's gone prone. Did Bibo hear him get on camera?
Everywhere.
Yeah, he is all over the place. Oh, Pika's going to drone him, surely.
Oh, no.
Did you check the corner? Pika! You can't be doing me like this. You can't let it happen like this. Surely Bibu can't take advantage of this.
Oh no, disaster as well. The study push isn't working out for the Direwolves either. Mowgli takes a swing onto ED. Pika, he's got no idea. Bibu just oh gosh, almost the whiff, but thank goodness Bibu's able to clean that one up. The rest of the Wolves slaughtering inside of study. It's all over.
Yeah, well, great round for Bibu, worth his weight in gold, down in the vault, and then rotating back upstairs, being misdroned and taking full advantage. The rest of Direwolves unable to make that study push work without that flank available. And Wolves are getting closer to tying up this scoreline. Still, D-Dub are in the lead, but for how long? Wolves are an incredible defending team on this map. On Villa, they win 83% of their defense rounds. That is insane.
Yeah, good times from Mowgli. He was pretty happy in study. It just felt like everything that we were looking at the Direwolves trying to do wasn't really working out for them. We saw Pika on his lurk. That didn't really work out for him. And then on the other side as well, Mowgli was just there to disrupt the study push that they tried to go for. He just wins those. He just wins out the gunfight and the aviator door. Hey, when you leave it too late, that's what happens. Mowgli's a beast.
So for Wolves now, going over to Stat and Trophy. Now, this is the bomb site that Direwolves really struggled to defend. Wolves won it both times. Let's see if Wolves are just as good at defending the site as they are at attacking it. Or if Direwolves will be able to break on through. We've got the Ossa picked up this round alongside those EMPs. So we talked a lot about that wall denial. There's no Qayyid from Wolves, but we do have those jammers from P4. Won't be too much of a problem with ED's secondary EMPs to complement the Selmas from Souffle.
Oh, of course, I always forget that secondary EMPs are a thing in this game, hey? Even though they could bring the K in on the board like what the Direwolves are doing, they could just deny them with the baby EMPs. Anyway, so Direwolves looking for this more direct attack onto the bomb site. We've got 2 players focusing their control on the ground floor, while the remaining 3 players start to shape up around that top floor, getting that master balcony control, as well as 1 player playing that cutoff inside of the window.
Reap's a little bit worried about the push from below. He's so close to just walking straight on inside. Wolves still have control down below. Oh, the impact trick's been so good here. And Mowgli, though, it costs him his life as he is taken down by Reaps. Threat of a C4 below, they think. It's P4, where is he? Is he in position to try and go for that C4? He's all the way down in the basement. But if he makes his way up, he could cause some serious damage as all that floor in Master is soft.
All right, so Direwolves, technically, here and now they've got what they need to go for a plant with the Ossa shield onto bricks. The problem is, that breach that is covering that split angle is not fantastic. They do need a prone to be able to cover it, and so it's a bit dangerous for them to go for that plant. It's very hard to cover.
We're trying it now. Oh, and also knifing the Ossa shield so you can't see through it. P4 is getting in position to go for a C4. Is this going to land? It doesn't find anything. Opens up a vertical line though. Rise amidst the chaos, moves forward, but Bibu goes down thanks to Reaps pushing in from the bathroom. Direwolves have a real attack on their hands here. And the French feeling that pressure rise on the cusp of it. Right up close to that bricks position. A little bit of an opening in his wall, but he's mostly safe.
Still 50 seconds
to
go, and Reaps is actually going to get aggressive inside of this bricks position. The plant's starting to go down from ED. Wolves, what is your response? It's nothing. Reaps is there for a quad kill. Can he make it an ace?
Apparently not, but it doesn't matter because Direwolves lock in that final kill. A phenomenal round from them. Fist pumps across the board. Jackie Wu particularly happy about that one. What a round from Reaps. And a great strategy from Direwolves worked out to a T. They're just 1 round away from match point as the French take their tactical timeout.
It's good stuff from Reaps there in that top floor. He was really the instrumental player that was taking all the engagements to win that out. That was a 4K from him. He jumped in through the master window. He was able to take the fight to Astro. He covered the plan perfectly. He was just there in tandem with ED to make that push work. Even though the breach wasn't perfect, even though Wolves still could play in the power position that was triple, which was usually what would stop that bricks plant from working, the cover was there for it. Reaps is just nuts.
Yeah, he is. He's broken double digits. The first player in the game to do so. He's up at 11-6. I'm really excited to see that Reaps has demonstrated that he's not just an online player. He's converted his online performance here to LAN, and it's a really exciting prospect for his future and the future of Direwolves as a whole. As we mentioned earlier, with FaZe winning a round and with Wolves winning a round here as well, there's no chance for Direwolves to make it to the playoffs. That miracle 1%, that dream is dead. But Direwolves can confirm that they will end up 3rd place in their group above Mirage, which is quite something. And what's more, if they take down Wolves here, that's a pretty big statement, and it's a pretty big booster of confidence. I'm sure they would learn a lot from a win like that. So Direwolves will no doubt be pushing for this, and to be honest, they played phenomenally so far.
They have. They've done really well so far, and Wolves are certainly no pushovers. Now the Direwolves looking to repeat the success of that last round. Same bomb site, trophy and statuary. They're bringing a few more X-Factor operators as well. Not only do they have the offset, but they actually have the Ying to work in tandem with that minimalist push that they usually try and go for.
Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
I have word from the A stream that FaZe is currently on match point 6-2 over Mirage.
Oh dear. So,
well, I mean, it's not looking good for Mirage, and it's looking good for Direwolves. So Direwolves currently in 3rd place in the group. There's a chance that Mirage can overtake them, but they will need to, I believe, get a... Let me have a look. So currently trailing by 2 points. So a regulation win would confirm it, assuming Direwolves don't win any points here. But it looks like Mirage are likely going to be going down. I think, in fact, if Direwolves get one more round, that means that they will confirm that they will remain above Mirage in the group. But, I mean, a win over Wolves here would be even better.
So nice quick entry once again for Reaps. Still 2 minutes on the clock and plenty of time. Baby EMP to go on the wall, and I can only imagine...
Oh, here we go!
I hear Barter pellets! Oh, this time Reaps loses it out, though Mowgli he's good for 1, but not without being traded by ED.
Yeah, well, at least there's a little bit more of a breach on the wall this time around, isn't there? I like to switch onto the Hibana instead of that ace. It's a bit of a messy hole, but Souffle's at least managed to cook up something. ED's...
Oh,
yeah, a bit of an awkward one, isn't it? But ED's got something to peer through.
Okay, look, it wouldn't be Siege Hibana holes without some abstract art going on, okay? We've got the Yin Candles ringing out. I'm not sure what that's from. Oh, that's Jackie Wu actually from the roof raining down onto the site.
Yeah, I didn't know you could get up here. This is a very cheeky spot. I don't think many players know you can actually get on top of this. I certainly didn't. If you just stand on the side, you can't actually get any angles down. But this is a huge amount of power that Jackie Wu has in this position, especially as the Ying. It seems that Wolves know about this position, though, as they're not exposing.
But what is ED doing on those Ossa shields?
So
this execute has got to come through from some time. The Candela is prepped for it. They're just teasing the execute. When's it going to happen, Direwolves?
Well, there's so much time left. Smoke starting to go down as we hear them, the Candelas, but here's P4. He picks them all the way from below. And Wolves quickly finish off all of the remaining Direwolves players. A little fist pump there. A chug of the last sip of water for Mowgli. And another good round for the Wolves.
All right, Direwolves, you did your pocket strat once. Is it really going to work twice? I don't think so. Not against people like the Wolves, right? That time they were a lot more disciplined in holding the crossfires on the site. They didn't overpeak from that trophy side. Trophy and statuary is so hard to call, by the way. I feel like I always get them mixed up. They didn't overpeak on that trophy side onto the breach like they did last time, and as a result, they didn't give away any more picks to Direwolves, especially to Reaps, who got shut down on that entry early. It just felt like that execute was a little ill-advised from the Direwolves, a bit ambitious to go for it twice, and Wolves can shut it down.
Hey, Mandy.
Yeah.
Look at what site we're going to.
We're going to Living Library!
I know.
I'm so excited!
How good is that?
Great.
How good is Living Library? Funny enough, Wolves actually have Aviator Games unlocked now. It's been 2 rounds since they won it, so they could be going back to what pretty much everyone determines to be the most favored bomb site on this map. And yet, here we go. It's Living Library, baby.
Okay, I'm going to break down this one because I love this bomb site, okay? They're playing these 2 vertical angles inside of the vault, and what that's doing is it's denying the entry from inside of the bicycle room and also denying the entry from these 2 soft walls as well. They're even playing footsie holes to stop that control from the grandfather clock. So if Direwolves want to get control of that kitchen side of the map, they've got to actually open up the vault, right? That's the mission critical wall that they need open if they're going to go for a plant from the kitchen side of the map.
Direwolves are not taking their time here, though. They are springing right on into action. Maintaining some control upstairs. The Rotero is going in from Jackie Wu, clearing out any util on site, checking what there is. I wonder if this desk actually gets destroyed. It looks like it does, pretty much at least. Can you see through it? Hard to tell for now. But that will make that really poor cover for a defender to play behind. And look at all this map control from Direwolves already upstairs. But Shinka, here we go. Man of the hour. What a phenomenal tournament he has had. Swiftly cleans Pika's head clean off.
All right, so the problem with this Direwolves push here is that they actually don't have hard breach. They don't have ranged hard breach. So that vault wall is staying closed no matter what happens. If they want to get this top floor control, they actually have to go deep for it, and it's pretty dangerous. Look at this, P4. He's actually going to backstab them from the back of Master Bedroom, taking down yet another Direwolves player.
Hunter becomes the hunted for Jackal. This isn't looking too crash hot for Direwolves, as the French have maintained a lot of map control here. Direwolves perhaps went a little bit too fast, a little bit too quick. Too many risks, and now they have to try and claw back this man advantage. Reap's in an awkward position. At least he will clear out that Banshee. Keep Wolves guessing a little bit more.
It's a bit of a rough one for the Direwolves. There's not much that they can do here in this situation, except for Reaps, who's gone on a lurk just at the bottom of this red stairs here, and he's found a big gaping hole into the bomb site.
Time to cogitate. Time to sit and consider, says Reaps. As from this 3v4, he sees an opening. Bibu, though, here on the brown stairs. A big flank potential, but Reaps has, or Jackie Wu rather, already sent it into sight. Bibu's actually missed him.
Whoa, a bit of a hole from the defense of the Wolves has allowed the Direwolves to slip their way in. Rise is taken down. Great entry into the bomb site from Jackie Wu. And can Bibu be there to trade? No, he cannot.
No.
Jackie Wu is good for 2.
Yeah, and guess what? Shinka and P4, you got a retake now. 2v3. Oh, how great's fall. Direwolves in a great position, but Reap's caught out. P4 now looking for another. As Shinka above is going for the vertical game, Jackie Wu to shut P4 down. 3v2 now down to a 2v1 as Shinka is above. Jackie Wu forcing out that diffuser, but here's the vertical line. Can Shinka deny the plant? Souffle gets it, but Shinka, the clutch god, he does it yet again. And the Wolves will tie this scoreline. We head to break point, 5 rounds each. Thanks to the heroics from this man right here.
Who else but Shinka, right? Who on this roster would pull something off like that? And that is this guy on the SMG-11. He is so lethal with it on those vertical lines. The Direwolves, they almost managed to claw that one back through the mid-round. The Wolves actually gave away that control of the bomb site, which was looking pretty scary, especially Jackie Wu. He was instrumental in making that entry into the site work. Pocket strat from Wolves somehow works out. In the end, those vertical lines did end up being lethal there in that late round. The Direwolves couldn't find the blind spot to get that plant and post-plant working for them. And there we go. 5-5 apiece. Oh, this is such a great match of Villa.
Really is, isn't it? It's getting more and more difficult to tell the difference between these two teams. As now the scores are the same, the Wolves part is the same. It's a caster's nightmare, isn't it?
It is.
Direwolves versus the non-Direwolves.
The non-Direwolves?
Yeah, the Wolves of the non-dire variety. It's like Wolves bracket 1 plus dire plus 1. And close bracket.
I've lost it. I've got no idea
To be
what
the
you're on
engineer,
about.
you should understand algebra. Come on.
I've got no idea what you're on about. Wolves are going to Aviator and Games. They're extending their roam onto the other side. Nothing too special. Just aided by a couple meat jams as well to keep that wall closed for where they can. For the Direwolves, they're actually bringing along the Ace into their lineup as well as another 2 sets of grenades. So if they want to go for a bottom-up take and use that ranged hard breach on the study wall early, they could. Seems like that's what they're going to look for. Reeves immediately getting on this balcony.
Yeah, and in comes the Rotero. Also in comes the Selma, but it is muted out. The Banshee taken down on the door. Is this Selma going to be shot? It's possible to clear that off, but perhaps not safe to do so at the moment for Direwolves.
Both these teams, if I had to note anything on the attacks, is they telegraph their push very early on. Not only are the Direwolves doing it now, but even the Wolves, when they're on their attacking half, go for very direct takes that are honestly, they're pretty obviously happening. It's up to the Wolves to see if they can reconvene their plays over in time and adapt their setup for the push that's about to come through.
If you're joining us from the A stream, welcome. Wolves first seed in the group taking on Direwolves third seed in the group. Here we are at breakpoint. One team about to claim match point. Which will it be? Wolves have had a good defense so far. The Direwolves have made excellent progress on their attack, clearing off some pivotal utility as they now try and clear this position on the stairs.
Oh, both those nades actually caught out by an ADS. No burn came through aside from Reaps, who was just using the grenades in his own hands. Mowgli, though, he's been caught out from that skull rappel, and the Direwolves in the man advantage.
Yeah, Jackie Wu doing well from this 90 rappel. It's getting a little bit scary for the Wolves. Oh, and there you go from Reaps. What a shot onto P4, making his way up the red stairs now. Could be about to claim match point against the Wolves as the Southeast Asian team marches their way towards the bomb site. It is a full retreat from the French as they fortify their positions on site.
And the Direwolves as well have pivoted their control over to the skull side of the map. Reaps, unfortunately, going down, has allowed Bibu to sneak his way back into study, getting aggressive on this study window. Oh, no! Protected by his teammate as well. Rise there to helping hand. And Jackie Wu, well, he's there to claw one back.
Yeah, but what are the chances of a plant here? ED, diffuser in pocket as Jackie Wu makes his way inside. Wolves not going to rush this, but guess what? Shinka's still alive. And as long as Shinka is alive, Shinka, there is a chance. Rise from the top of main stairs. It's Shinka once again, gets the down, but not out as of yet. Rise looking to disrupt this push onto the side as ED's forcing that diffuser down. Shinka on for the flank, but ED's going to continue forcing this diffuser down. It's now all on Shinka. How many times has he clutched? How many times has he been called upon? Oh, he finds another headshot. He is on fire. 1 versus 1. ED low HP taking up his position inside the vault. The pre-fires with the SMG-11. And now a bait for Shinka. ED must push. It's the bait and Shinka! Nobody can touch this man! Thanks to him and him alone, Wolves go on to match points.
He's gone 2 for 2, Dev. Not just one 1v2 clutch, but 2 1-on-2 clutches for this man to his name on 2 separate sites as well. Both SMG-11 in hand. Could it be more iconic than that?
I mean, no one can touch him. If anyone thinks that they're a good at clutcher at this event, they've got to go through Shinka. And I can't believe it. I would not believe anyone else can stand up to this man's clutch ability. That should be a Direwolves match point right now, Mandy. It should be. And yet Shinka has things to say about it.
That's ridiculous. You really cannot ever count him out. That is crazy. He's nuts with that SMG-11. Just, Direwolves had such a great grip of that round. They played the early round super well, right? They made use of that ground floor. Reaps in particular, even though he burned the 2 nades on main stairs, he maneuvers his way around red. He just takes those gunfights. You know, it's Reaps in true Reaps fashion. But it doesn't matter when you've got Shinka in a 1-on-3. What are you going to do about it, right? It's just insane.
He's having the game of his life. Look at him, 15-5. Unreal performance from Shinka so far. On a support operator, no less. On his attack, he had a great one. And on his defense, he's been left to his own devices to clutch on the site. Direwolves still have a chance to win out this game, but they'll need to push overtime. No second chances now. This may well be the final round of their major, unless if they can push OT.
All right, Direwolves, what have you got to show for us? Reaps spawning over on this study side take, but actually considering rotating over. Okay, the Direwolves, they have brought along the Ossa, once again, bringing along the same philosophy into this bomb site, perhaps looking for a more direct take. Maybe I've called it completely wrong. ED has actually just gotten on that study cutoff as Reaps makes his way through the door.
But he hasn't able to take down P4 as of yet. As the mute falls back, Direwolves shift their attention instead of Reaps going for a bit of a lurk. He's going to go support his teammates. Thing is, like you said, last time Direwolves attacked Stat Trophy. They've made this Ossa trick work once before. It didn't work on the second time around. Now they're revisiting it for a third time, hoping, praying that things will be different. But I think Wolves are starting to clue in a little bit. Look at that, you've got 2 C4s and an impact for Rise. What's more, you've finally got the Kaid. It's going to make it a little bit difficult for Direwolves to clear off this util. Claw goes out.
Oh no. Okay, so that Electro Claw, I believe, is
painful.
Okay, so that Electro Claw is clearing all 3 walls, but there must be a second claw somewhere that is keeping that right wall closed, and that's the one that they're trying to get open at the moment. Okay, there we go.
God.
Yeah. So there must be a second claw that's only electrifying the left walls, and so they can really only get this breach on the right wall. Oh, and it's even been tricked. That EMP didn't last long enough for the second set of X-Karas to go off.
That's the danger of those baby EMPs, isn't it? A really short deactivation time on them. Reaps now taking a risky play, takes a bit of damage, but he does destroy that deployable shield. Oh, and he's shut down by who else but Shinka. Of course it is. Mowgli now, the first line of defense for Wolves, but they have the advantage here, they have the match point, and they're very close to topping their group.
Rise as well is in a pretty nice spot here. He has got the impacts in hand now. That's very important if they're going to go for this Ossa plant. He doesn't want to give those impacts away for tricking or anything like that anymore, right? Because you need at least one more to take down the Ossa shield in the hand of ED.
A win here for Wolves will secure them as first seed above FaZe Clan going into the playoffs, and that they desperately want. But Rise goes down. Pika's got something to say about Direwolves' hopes and dreams. Direwolves might be out of it, but they can play to spoil Wolves' day and Wolves' tournament. Souffle to make his entry. Pika doubles down, and Souffle is good for one as well. It's all for Direwolves as Mowgli finds himself in a 1v4, can't get it done. And Direwolves, they're not out of the tournament yet. They're gonna push to OT.
Here we go. It's not over just yet. The Wolves on Wolves onslaught continues. Well played from the Direwolves. They realized that getting that control inside of bricks wasn't going to work out for them, so they sent a couple players below onto the other side of study. Since the Wolves had given up that real estate, right, they decided to reclaim the space that had been given up to them. As a result, they do go actually for a different kind of push. The Wolves weren't ready. They didn't expect it, especially off the back of Rise getting naded out of his power position, and Direwolves are able to play him up another round.
Like I was alluding to before, Wolves have not secured first seed in their group. Currently they sit on 11 points with FaZe on 12 points. Now that means that FaZe still have a chance of being first seed at the end of this. Wolves also don't have quite as good a round differential as FaZe do, so if it comes to that tiebreaker, they're currently behind. If they can win this game though, they get that extra point and they should be able to guarantee that they will go first seed into the quarterfinals. And if you don't think that matters much, just remember that in Berlin, Wolves went in to their quarterfinals against Xset and lost the match, failing to make it to the semis. They've never made it to those semis. And that is what they will be focusing on for this tournament, to go further than they've ever gone before.
Alright, so Wolves taking us over to this Aviator Endgame's bomb site, not doing anything too special, but something that is special on the side of the Direwolves is that we have the SAM cams of ED. So if he wants to make use of them through the ground floor or through the walls, he can use those zappies to try and clear anything that might be denying the breach. And last time what we saw was those mute jammers. It was preventing some of those walls from being open and making this study take kind of tricky for the Direwolves.
Reaps here, bottom main. Oh, there's a player right to his left. Reaps might have heard it, but it was too late. And P4 punishes him for his laziness. Bibu also has gone downstairs, maintaining this roam. Direwolves seemingly unaware of just how much presence Wolves have down below.
Yeah, not once but twice, Direwolves have started to get pretty sloppy on this entry, especially on this site in particular. Through the ground floor, Reaps has died twice now, trying to make his way in. Last time it was Bevo as well, playing in that secret vault with the rotate hole. Instead, the rest of the Direwolves are starting to put pressure on the other side of the map. They have been given the real estate of the master side of the map, and they're going to try and take it, aided by these drones. Now, this time, ED is definitely going to check that corner.
Yeah, but Mowgli's taken down Jackie Wu on that entry. Mowgli's hungry for more, feels a bit of pressure from that Wolf window. Once again, Wolf on Wolves, on Direwolves. ED moving on forward, looking to take out that shield. He does, but Mowgli gives him a birthday present. Straight to the face. Mowgli hungry for another, takes a bit of damage, and he falls back. Wolves now on the cusp of another match point, with Direwolves desperate to find something.
Ooh, P4 with a C4 through that arch. Doesn't quite connect, but a valiant effort. Souffle, he still gets away with his life, and P4 relocates onto the red stairs.
Mowgli's still hungry for more. Just look at the way he keenly watches this angle, but it's P4 to retake from red. Pika goes down, Souffle, the last one left. He can find one, but it's a 1v5. The AK-12 is good, but it's not good enough. Mowgli to lock it in. Huge round from him, from Skull. And once again, match point for Wolves as Direwolves finally take their tactical timeout.
All right, time to take the tactical timeout. Direwolves and Wolves. This game has been pretty interesting to me, right? Because the attack always feels telegraphed on these, pretty much every single round, right, Dev? They start doing something and they're pretty committed to it. We haven't seen that many times where they've made a cross-map rotation to try and do something else until maybe the last 1 or 2 rounds Direwolves have tried to change it up, right? So it's been a pretty linear game so far of Villa. I think that the Direwolves need to take this tactical timeout to maybe change their philosophy and keep the Wolves guessing, because so far they definitely have their number in the macro game.
Not gonna lie, these Direwolves guys look tired. I noticed that we've got Harambe actually behind the players instead of Odin. I believe on day 1 it was Odin, and then Harambe subbed in.
So Odin, he's sitting an exam, so he's had to go back.
Is that what's happened?
That's right.
He's actually gone home.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
We've lost Odin.
Well, Harambe, former player for this roster, is now their analyst, and I have no doubt that he knows exactly what the guys need to hear. And that said, you know, it's been a long tournament so far. It's been exhausting. And this is their final match. They know that their chances of making playoffs are dead, so perhaps there's not quite as much energy as they would otherwise like. But despite that, a win against Wolves would be huge. Even this overtime against Wolves is massive. Mirage managed to do it. FaZe managed to do even more than that, taking down Wolves in regulation. And so now Direwolves look to join the rest of their team and how competitive this has been. And really show everyone that they might not be making the playoffs, but they are a team to remember here at the tournament.
Direwolves have been pretty funny on the socials as well. When they won that FaZe game, it was also Harambe standing behind them, and they all started joking to each other that it was Coach Diff. Yeah. It was Odin Diff because he's gone back home to sit his exam off for Odin. He gets so much from these players, doesn't he? Direwolves, like you said, they've made this incredible run through the major. Some of the performances that they've been able to put up have been so impressive. Taking down FaZe is no small feat. Taking the Wolves to overtime is also no small feat, and they're still not out of this game just yet. The Wolves starting to make their push onto the map. They've all spawned on this master side, and I anticipate we'll be going for the map sweep.
Yeah, it does seem to be that way with Mowgli starting off here. Actually, just a pre-nade onto the bricks position. Nobody there. Reaps is very lucky to have fallen back.
Who's that in the bathtub?
Is there someone in the bathtub?
Yes, there is.
Hang on a second.
Souffle in the bathtub.
Souffle, what are you doing over there? Game's not over yet. You can't go and relax. Oh, there's no way that this works.
Oh, I reckon yes way that this works. Surely it does. They haven't thrown him out yet. The barricade is closed. Oh, this is totally going to work. I'm excited for this one.
That said, Wolves haven't opened that barricade, so Souffle doesn't have as many options. In fact, no one seems to be going into bathroom at all, so this might actually be a late flank. Wolves seem completely unaware. They haven't droned it. In fact, there was a mute jammer to support Souffle's position, but will he be able to have impact on this flank? He would have heard the run-in. Oh, no! And now the jig is up. P4 knows about it, and Souffle is a dead man just waiting for his demise. Mowgli to go in with a nade, but it's Rise to secure the kill. How unfortunate.
Oh, he went for the rat flame, went for punish for it. He didn't have the trigger discipline on P4 repelling in through Astro. Nope, that cost him his life. And now Wolves so far, they've got control up until this landing position. A minute left to go. They do have the hard breach in their hands of Rise as well, so they can start to work that 90 wall and get it open. There he is, rotating over onto the window to get it open from the safety of the rappel.
But Pika, holding that 90 position, has managed to do a bit of damage. Oh, love that drone at the top red stairs. Really good information here for Wolves. But information doesn't necessarily mean much if you still get out-dueled from a power position. As Bibu starts to make his way forward, it appears to be that Pika has fallen back. An attempt at breaching this 90 wall, aided by a nade to clear that mute jammer. Unsuccessful.
Uh-oh, gotta chuck in another one, otherwise that wall is not going to be open. So Rise has actually put 2 Selma charges on that vault wall, so it's going to be a running hole. That means that the Wolves need to hold on to this 90 control, just making sure there are no pesky defenders that are going to be running in and out of that position. P4, of course, holding a bit of an off angle inside of this 90 position as well, just making sure no one is pushing up through long or swinging in from Classical.
Here we go, finally that mute jammer taken down. P4 starts to fall back a little bit. But hang on a second, look at that timer. Direwolves to try and push the 15th round of overtime. I've just got to hold on in the 4v4, but Wolves start to march on forward. It's a trades back and forth as Bibu and P4 try and pick up the pieces. Just P4 now left, but the timer runs out. Caught sleeping were Wolves, and Direwolves push all the way to round 15. They finally have a match point.
That felt like a bit of a classic Villa demise. Okay, that was really poorly worded. Let's go again. That felt like a classic attack onto Villa, right? You start on one side of the map, you go through the middle, you try and open up the wall, but that takes a lot of time. Villa's a big map, right? At one point, you need to make that cross-map rotation over onto the study side and put the pressure from there. At one point, you need to get that 90 wall open. And if you take your time playing that micro game and you're sort of just wasting your time because you can't get a wall open or because you can't get drones into the site, you're going to get stuck in that choke point of 90 and of landing for a very, very long time, right? And so Wolves falling short to the timing. Even though that flank didn't work out from the Direwolves, I suppose it just wasted enough time, eventually able to win it out on time.
Well, Mandy, 1 round left. It's going to be either Wolves or Direwolves to claim this game. It's been such a long one. It's been so back and forth. Despite the fact that very, very early on, even before the first round had ended, we knew that Direwolves' chances of playoffs were done and dusted, thanks to FaZe doing so well in their match against Mirage. But that hasn't meant that Wolves aren't fighting tooth and nail to secure first seed in their group. If they lose this game, they won't have that first seed. Direwolves can play to spoil. And when you don't have much to play for yourself, that's the best you can ask for.
Wolves now looking for this roam, just trying to deny the entry, right? Here, the Direwolves, they can either go for this map sweep across, or they can go for a more direct attack. It seems like the direct attack is what they love. They haven't brought the Officer this time. There's only the Ying. And I can only imagine now the Wolves are starting to get keyed, and Direwolves do like telegraphing their push. They don't really like to do anything too special, except for Reaps, who might be on alert on his own.
Mowgli taken very low, but survives a little bit longer here. Oh, this breach upstairs is going to be very difficult with that Electric Claw once again from P4. Direwolves, what is their play? Are they going to go for that downstairs push? They're doing this again, Mandy. Can we actually see how he gets on the roof? I hope it doesn't take too long, but I really want to see how he gets on that rooftop so I can...
No, he's not going to do it.
Oh, Sag.
Oh, not good. Direwolves are actually changing their approach. Look at that. They're rotating over to the study side. Okay, that's good. Not telegraphing the push that they're trying to do. A Yin Candela bait, I believe, to come out, anticipating that they might be able to force some Direwolves players back. Reeves, he's just spotted someone through that drone hole, and look at that. The cutoff has been set up by Jackie.
Oh, no,
But in
Bibu!
fact, Bibu wins out that engagement.
Yeah, and he manages to survive on top of that. The tricks come through on the Kaid, and Bibu's doubled down for Reaps as well. Minute 30 now, and Direwolves looking lost. They can't get a breach. They can't get Bibu. What are they going to do? They can finally find one kill. Rise goes down for Pika. But what more have they got?
So far, neither side of this push from the Direwolves has worked out too favorably. They've got 3 coming in from the study side and 2 going in from the master side. Unfortunately, the roam clear on this side hasn't worked out too great. Bibu has just gotten away with crimes. But instead, we do have Edie, who has got bathroom control so far. It's possible for the Direwolves to come back from this one, but really, they don't have a lot of time, and they don't have a lot of tools left to do it, especially with that triple wall staying closed.
What are you going to do, ED? What's the call? What's the play? Your last round at the Major. You better make good on it. Souffle now rotating off. No, going for the upside down rappel to take out the Alibi's Prisma. Flash to go through. What are they going to do?
Very, very tricky situation for the Direwolves. There is a player on that
Bibu.
red stairs.
Oh!
Ibu, once again, the man of this round. Now in the 1-on-4 for Souffle.
Oh, but the Wolves, they settle this score. It is the 1 pack, not the Wolf pack. that howl the loudest. Wolves will be going into the playoffs with first seed in their group, and Direwolves will be going home.
What a great game from the Wolves to close that one out. 2 points, first seed. That's exactly what you want to start your playoffs run. And for the Direwolves, what a great showing, honestly. When they came into this major, no one knew what to expect from them. They're an APAC South team. They haven't been at the international stage since stage 1. It's been a long time coming, and the results that they've been able to put up over these past 3 days have been nothing short of incredible.
And for Wolves, they're very happy about that win. They were pushed very hard all the way to OT, but they are just grateful to call that one a win.
Absolutely. 15 rounds takes a lot of stamina to get through. These players, they look really tired in the player cams towards the end there, but thankfully Bibu was still at